Greetings, my friend, to another episode here of the Red Delta Project YouTube channel. We're helping the whole world get stronger with the power of calisthenics training. I'm Matt Schifferly, and today we're looking at an introductory video to the first leg in the grind style calisthenics discipline, that of progressive calisthenics, and everything you need to know in order to get the most out of this modality. So the first lesson is that, like all calisthenics training, progressive calisthenics is just another form of weightlifting. It's no different than lifting free weights or machines. The main difference is that, well, you're the weight. And furthermore, you add resistance in the exercises you're doing by adding weight. But you do it a little bit of a different way. Instead of picking up and exchanging heavier weights, because obviously your body is the same weight throughout the exercise, you shift your weight instead. So it helps to think of like splitting the body up into 4 quadrants. You've got your top and your lower half, and then of course you've got your division between your right and your left sides. So when you want to adjust the resistance of an exercise, you don't necessarily add or subtract weight from what you're lifting, but you move it from one part of your body to the next, either from top to bottom and vice versa, or between your right and left side. So when I do my push-ups on an elevated surface like this, I have a certain amount of weight on my feet and some weight on my hands as I do my push-up. And if I lower myself down, I am literally adding weight from my feet to my hands to increase resistance. So I'm essentially lifting more weight and then moving, of course, onto the floor to increase resistance even further. And then you can further adjust your resistance by shifting your weight between your right and left side. So if my weight is equally loaded between my right and left side, and then I place more weight on my left arm and use my right for assistance, I'm adding weight to the muscles in my push chain on my left side. Same thing on the right, to add weight, therefore adding resistance, therefore giving myself a progressive challenge. There are 2 very big significant advantages to using progressive calisthenics. The first of which is just simplicity and portability. In the world of autonomy and independence, which calisthenics is great for, all you need is a thing to hang off of, maybe a sturdy wall, and the floor beneath your feet. And if you don't have that floor beneath your feet, well, you got bigger problems to deal with. So it's great for portability, being able to train wherever and whenever you want, and not having to spend too much on building out a home gym, because you can use it with just a simple doorway pull-up bar you get on Amazon pretty cheap, or even you can make your own with a simple length of rope and some PVC handles. The other advantage of progressive calisthenics is its athletic and functional nature due to the progressive technical nature of your exercises. So when I'm progressing, say for example, going from my deep squats to my split squats to even hover lunges, you'll notice that it requires much more than just raw strength in the muscle. I also need to develop stability. I need to develop coordination. I need to develop mobility in my hips and my ankles. So a lot of these softer athletic qualities that carry over very well to sport and life, aside from just strength, are also developed in tandem to the strength and muscle we want from the strength training. Plus, the workouts themselves tend to be fairly simple in nature. Usually you don't need 15 different exercises or a ton of variations. Usually 2 or 3 push, pull, and squat exercises, as well as some rudimentary core training, is all you really need to work your full body. And lastly, because progressive calisthenics is another form of weightlifting, you don't want to change or modify too much or overthink the programming too much. In other words, whatever type of programming you were using for free weights or machines or cables and so on, just apply the same exact thing to progressive calisthenics. So if you're doing 5x5 on the bench press, do 5x5 on some sort of progressive push-up technique. If you're doing a full body circuit or upper lower body split 4 times a week, same exact thing with progressive calisthenics. You don't want to modify the programming too much where you may be doing 5x5 on a bench press, then say, I'm going to try calisthenics, and then you're trying to do 100 reps of calisthenics, because that's fundamentally the same thing as just stripping all the weight and trying to do 100 reps on an empty bar. it's a different program. It's a different type of training stimulus. So don't be too surprised where if you change the programming too much, you end up with vastly different results. It's not the method that's creating the result, it's the programming itself. So use the same fundamental programming principles with progressive calisthenics as you would with any other form of strength training. And if you want to dive a little bit deeper into the progressive calisthenics rabbit hole, check out my resources. One is my book, Progressive and Weighted Calisthenics. Links are down below to the PDF or the books on Amazon, as well as the playlist here on the RDP YouTube channel on progressive and weighted calisthenics, detailing a lot more on how to execute the exercises with proper technique and programming ideas. And if you have any further questions, leave them down below in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Be fit and live free.